Welcome back to History Uncovered. I'm Alex, and today we'll explore the duality of life in the Soviet Union during the Khrushchev era, a time filled with hope, yet marred by hardship.
And I'm Jordan. We'll discuss the optimism felt by many in the 1950s, the realities of daily life, and the significant events that shaped this complex period in Soviet history.
Galina Artemieva, a child of the 1950s, reflected on her experiences, describing that era as one of hope. With the release of Gulag prisoners and the healing of war wounds, optimism was palpable.
She and others believed they lived in the best country on the planet, despite the realities of overcrowded schools and the oppressive culture that surrounded them.
Valery Galenkov, born in 1944, shared memories of his rural childhood, living in poverty with his grandmother. Despite their struggles, he recalled moments of joy and the simple pleasures of life.
In his village, film screenings often started with propaganda, but they were also a source of community entertainment. The local party boss, though later seen as a rough character, was initially viewed as a jovial figure.
Living behind the Iron Curtain, many Soviet citizens, like Galenkov, felt isolated from the outside world. They had little knowledge of America or Western life, which shaped their perceptions.
Tamara Kosick from this generation noted that they didn't feel envy towards Americans because they were unaware of what lay beyond their borders. They believed in the promise of progress.
The highs and lows of 1962 exemplified the Soviet experience. The successful voyage of submarine K-3 to the North Pole was overshadowed by the tragic crash of Aeroflot Flight 902.
This juxtaposition highlights the contradictions of the era. Great achievements in science and technology contrasted sharply with failures in governments and safety.
Despite the optimism, there was significant public discontent. Protests erupted against government policies, with many citizens participating in demonstrations, risking their safety.
During Khrushchev's rule, protests were common, and while the era was less brutal than Stalin's, it was far from liberal. Boris Vronsky's diary entries mock the claims of progress under Khrushchev.
In May 1962, the government raised retail prices for essential goods, leading to widespread unrest. People were frustrated with the rising costs and stagnant wages.
Demonstrations occurred in cities like Riga and Odessa, with citizens expressing their anger over food shortages and living conditions. Galina's aunt even resorted to making her own bread to cope.
The most serious protests occurred in Novocherkassk, where a strike escalated into a mass demonstration. Soldiers opened fire on unarmed workers, killing 26.
This massacre was kept secret for decades, illustrating the lengths to which the government would go to suppress dissent. The workers' grievances were justified, yet they faced brutal retaliation.
Interestingly, the scientific community in the Soviet Union enjoyed a certain degree of freedom, crucial for technological progress. Scientists like Andrei Sakharov challenged government policies.
Khrushchev's disdain for dissenting voices revealed his commitment to maintaining power while showcasing Soviet achievements. This tension would characterize much of the era.
The 60s generation began to emerge, influenced by cultural shifts and new wave cinema that questioned societal norms. However, official repression of dissent intensified.
While some communities thrived, the overarching atmosphere remained conformist, with dissenters facing harsh consequences. The Gulag system was still in place, reflecting the regime's fear of opposition.
The Khrushchev era was marked by a complex interplay of hope and hardship, with citizens navigating a landscape of optimism overshadowed by economic struggles and political repression.
Join us next time on History Uncovered as we continue to explore the evolution of Soviet society and the legacies of its leaders. Thanks for listening.
Stay curious and keep exploring history with us.
See you next time.